Hey, it's W5HRO. Well, it's been a while. It's been how many days? It's been a little more than a week, hasn't it? I have been working on this thing. I ran into a couple issues and I finally got all the voltages right on everything. And I'm getting like 300 volts peak to peak out of it, I think, is what it's doing, which is what the Collins KW1 would put out to the 810 grids. Although later on they raised up the plate supply on the 6B4Gs to like the 360 volts or 350, 360. The transformer says 375, but that might be an AC rating. So it's all working and everything, but I've got one little issue and I'm trying to resolve it. Now, watch what happens here when I turn the mic gain up a little bit. And I don't have any mic, it's disconnected. I'm picking it up on the mic jack, so if I ground it, see, look what happens. It just, see, if I ground the, so basically I'm grounding the grid of the 6SJ7. This long wiring's picking it up, but look what it is. Look at the frequency. It's 60 hertz is what it is most of the time. See, if I run it up high enough, 59, yeah, look at that. It's 60 hertz is what it is. So I'm getting AC hum. It's picking up AC hum. So that was the next thing I was going to have to work on. So this has taken me way longer than I planned. The whole thing's working, but even with the mic plugged in, I'm getting AC hum. Now I assume that's hum because it says 60 hertz, right? So that's what it's got to be. But see, I don't even have the mic plugged in, and see what happens when I turn everything up. Look what it does. This thing, it just completely, I mean, look. There's 80 volts peak to peak of AC hum. Oh, now that's at 120 hertz. That changed, see? The frequency changes, but see, I'm getting, because you know, what's 2 times 60? Because you know why it's doing that? I'm getting the harmonics of that hum. So what's the second, what's 2 times 60? That'd be 120, right? What does that go up to? 119, 120 hertz. See? So I got to get that out of, this is what I got to work on now. I got to get this hum out of here. It's self-oscillating, but it's picking up the hum. And I realized too, these, by the way, these mic cables here, I mean, these cables go in these stages to these pots. These are way longer than, I mean, I'm going to cut these way shorter before it's over. I had to make them long enough so I could get in here and debug all this and get all the voltages and get the gain levels right. And I pretty much have that now. So let me show you what I have on this. Here's an update. Can you see that? I'll hold it here as long as I can. And what I've had to do here is, see, I put a 2.2K grid stop and then a 220 picofarad down the ground. This will help RF. Now, when I did that, it did reduce, it did help. But I have that long blue wire that's not shielded going down to that 6SJ7 grid, see, through that coupling cap. And these tubes were used as receive amplifiers and receivers. They were used like for the first RF amp stages. So these things are extremely sensitive. And you can see now too what I have on the plate voltage. I got the 350 volts exactly. And I have the tube set up for 40 mils each. So the 6AS7 is set up for 80 mils static, just like I ran the 6A3s. But I'm only getting 300 volts peak to peak out of this thing. That's as high as it'll go. And that's going to have to do. What I found out is the reason it squares off, it's still squaring off. And I thought it was just this stage was driving this one too much. No, it's not even on this one. You know where it is? It's at the grids of these two, this tube here, the 6AS7. It's the grids. It's basically the swing, the AC swing is too hot for the grids. So I'm going to have to, I don't know if I'm going to put series resistors in here, but one thing I'm going to do is I'm probably going to have to add a grid stop resistor here and maybe one right here, like I've done here. These I could actually go bigger. They say to go up to, like, you know, normally you want to use 10Ks, but these pinodes, most people use between like a 2.2 to an 8.2, and I bumped this up to a 2.2 meg. So I thought, let me just make them all uniform: 2.2 meg, 2.2K, and 220 picofarad. And that seems to be a good combination for this tube. That will definitely keep any RF out of it. But this thing, man, is like, it's acting like an antenna because the tube is so sensitive with that 2 meg load on it. Now, what's 2.2 plus 2.2K? So that's what? Is it 2.4? Yeah, 2.44K. Is that what it is? Something like that. So, but I think I'm going to have to put like a 10K grid block. I may have to put like a 68K, maybe one here, and to get that oscillation, that 60 cycles from getting in, or I need to work on the filaments. So this is actually taking me longer than I'd anticipated, and I didn't even work on it for a week. The week before last, it rained, and I was going to come out here and do it. I was doing work outside, and the rain hit, and I decided I was going to come out here and do it when it was raining, but that week I had kind of sinus discomfort. I suffer from chronic sinusitis once in a while. It's not as bad as it used to be, but when the weather changes like that, I get kind of, sometimes my sinuses, and I get this kind of like this light aching in my head, behind my nose and my eyes, and I'm like, ugh. So I just didn't feel like doing anything. So I took like a week or so break, a little over a week, and I came in here this weekend. I did a little more, and I did some yesterday, and I just did some more today. What I did was I did away with the other resistors, and I bumped this one up to a 2.2. I mean, I bumped it up from a 1.5 to a 2.5 because I was trying to get 300 volts right on this driver transformer, and it knocked it down to right at like 311, and it knocked down, and by changing that, removing the 150 and bumping this one from the 1.5K up to like a 2.5 to get this down a little more, it made this guy here like 120 volts, this guy like 54 volts, this one's like 140 some volts, maybe 3 or something like that, and it's like 54 volts here. So it dropped the screens down 2 volts, but it's, you know, there's going to be enough current there because I don't have the other resistors here anymore. So basically what I did was I just put soldered jumper wires across them. They're still in there. I put a piece of bus wire along the side of each one of them just because I didn't want to take them out, because then I have to rewire I have to reconnect everything, and if I don't have to remove the resistors, I went ahead and I don't have to change any of that, so I didn't have to redo anything. So it was less work, so I just did it that way. It was easier. And they're not going to hurt anything. Everything's in there solid and uniform. But I did do this, so now I won't put the cap over here on these, but I'm probably maybe a 10K there. I could put one here, and then if I have to, I could back down. I could put some series resistors with the windings on this to the grids on these. I might have to add a couple here, and that might actually stop bring it down far enough, because my grid to grid swing on the output of this transformer, these grids, it's too hot. That's why it's squaring off. It's hitting it too hard. I can back it down right where it stops squaring off, and it's peaking up right at 300 volts peak to peak is where it is. At least that's what it looked like on this scope. This one, I don't know. I'll have to look. This scope's a lot slower reacting, but anyway, that's what I've been doing on this. I don't want to digress and ramble on about something else. So you can see how it looks now. It's pretty. I mean, this thing, when you look at it, when it's in there, it looks nice now. If I ever, one of these days, what I've done here is I've beefed this thing up as the best I can for what I had to work with and where all the mounting was, and I found that better transformer, more current, a little bit higher voltage. It still needs to be bigger to really get the grid swing up all the way to like 350 volts peak to peak on each tube, on each grid, from grid to grid. That's going to actually be harder. I mean, it's going to take a bigger transformer. Like I said, if I use choke input, it's going to take probably like 110, 120. I mean, a 410 to a 420 volt, like about a 200 mil transformer to do it. That's what it would take. And then I could get it up closer to it'd be about 400 volts, maybe just shy of it. But, you know, I mean, that's what you'd have to do. And the tube will handle it. I just, you know, it's one of those things to where it's just safer if I run the thing at 350 like these circuits were designed to run at. You can see it's sitting there at 350, so it's where, and I've got, and it's all loaded, everything's sitting at idle, so that's exactly, and it's not going to drive down that far. Let me get the oscillation going and look. It's not even hardly dropping. Let me plug the mic in before I stop this video. Let me try something real quick here. Oh, I got to get it in here. There we go. See, the problem is I still get the oscillation with the mic. So, I mean, with the thing, even with the mic plugged in. Now, that's what I meant. I still get it with the mic. I said it right the first time. So, yay, 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 yay. Look, it's not dropping. So I have the other one, that thing was dropping like a brick. When I had the old transformer on this thing, that 120 milliamp transformer, that was a little bit too low voltage to boot. I mean, there was no way when I'd modulate, that thing was dropping down to like 200 or something. It was pitiful. Yay, now see, it's not doing it, holy cow. So see, this thing is probably gonna hold up now. This will probably drive the 810s just fine. It's definitely going to be a big improvement compared to what I had, right? So anyway, let me shut this thing down, and I'm going to come out here again and work on this some more tomorrow. I've been plugging away at this thing. I just got to get that oscillation to go away, and when I do that, I'm going to take it in there and try it out with the 810s. Then I'm going to bring the 810 rack out here. I still got plenty of time to see what the end of this week is. The first day is Friday, May 1st? I think Friday's May 1st, isn't it? Maybe May 2nd or is it Thursday or Friday's May 1st? I can't remember. I think it's Friday. It could be Thursday. What's the day? The 28th, I believe, April 28th. So, I mean, it's not going to start getting hot out in this garage until like about the first part of June. So I got another month to finish this in the 810 rack up. So I'm in no hurry. So you can see where I am on this. I just thought I'd do another video to kind of get everybody up to speed, and you know, because I know that people have been waiting probably like, where's he at on that? Where's he at? Well, this is where I'm at. I took about a week break on it because I was tired and I didn't feel good that one week, and I just got back on it again starting this last weekend, and it's Tuesday, and here we are. And this is the updated. I just updated this a little while ago. It's got today's date on it. So there it is. This is what I've got so far. It's getting there, and I've got, like I said, 350 on the these two tubes now, and it doesn't drop when I drive it, so that's perfect. Before, like I said, it was pitiful. So this is definitely going to make a difference. It won't be exactly like I wanted. It won't be the full power like I wanted, but it's compared to what I had, it's like night and day. So 73s for now.